2018 September event of the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. I'm Mike Flanagan from InsideBowling.com, bringing you the coverage today. It's the Cashers round. We have 56 bowlers taking to the lanes. It's actually 55 because Ryan Zagar, we talked about it yesterday, food poisoning, doesn't feel well today. He's in the building but has withdrawn from the tournament. 55 players in all. You're looking at lanes 7 and 8 and lanes 9 and 10. Dave Kuchera, Ryan Stubblefield, John Marsala, Brian Thompson in front of you on 7 and 8. On 9 and 10, Quentin Bolin, Jason Miner, Travis Anderson, and Austin Odd. This tournament would not be possible without the great sponsors that support it each and every year. This event pays out so well, and Joe Engelkist, the tournament director, has built such a great pool of sponsors that just continue to support over and over again. It starts with Fusion Realtors and Zach Bajorner. He was part of the original crew that thought up the idea of wanting to have a big bowling tournament here in Waterloo, Iowa each and every year. If it wasn't for him, this tournament would not be going on. Also, coming on board 6 or 7 tournaments ago now is the Community First National Bank with Brandon Steen. Brandon bowls this event, big-time bowler up in this area. He actually doesn't work there anymore, but Community First loves this event so much that they continue to support this as a co-title sponsor. So thank you to Community First National Bank. The Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau is very interested in this tournament because it brings people to Waterloo, Iowa for a sporting event. And they make a nice, sizable donation to this tournament as a sponsor to help bring the bowlers to Waterloo, Iowa twice a year. So thank you to the Waterloo Convention and Visitors Bureau for all you do for bowling and all you do for these 2 tournaments put on in February and September. Budweiser and Bud Light have been on board. Make sure when you consider your next adult beverage, you consider a Budweiser or Bud Light. The official jersey supplier of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association for their tour and these 2 events that they run each year is Logo Infusion. You can head over to logoinfusion.com and save 20% off with coupon code GIBA2018. That's GIBA 2018. It's good all year long. 20% off Logo Infusion for your jerseys and apparel needs. Also right here inside Maple Lanes is Kingpin Bar and Grill. All of the proceeds from the bar and from the snack bar this weekend, the grill, they donate a portion of that back into the prize fund. So support these sponsors, support this event, and support everyone associated with it. Hampton Inn, also a sponsor, and then season-long sponsors for the Greater Iowa Bowling Association, their tour, which this is part of it and also falls into supporting this event, is Ebonite International, the brand of Ebonite, a title sponsor, and Gershman Mortgage, where Brandon Steen works now. Gershman Mortgage on board for a season-long sponsorship of the Greater Iowa Bowling Association, including these 2 Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Opens. Yesterday, there were 163 total entries in this tournament. The 163 bowlers took to the lanes on a 43-foot 2.1 to 0 ratio, 2.1 to 1, I'm sorry, ratio. Very flat bowling pattern, and we hear that all the time. But this one played a pretty difficult pair-to-pair, which meant for very low scoring pace. Out of the 163 entries that we had, only 35 of those entries averaged 200 or more. One player on a squad set the tone for the day, and his name is Tom Hess. 224 over for his 7 games of qualifying, led this field. In second, coming off of the B squad, leading B squad at plus 191, 33 pins back of Hess, is Brandon Biondo. 17 pins back of Brandon Biondo, currently in the 3rd position coming into this Cashers round. 6 games this morning is Kenny Calkins III at plus 174. 10 pins behind Calkins is Nick Pate. Nick Pate is plus 164 in 4th position and looking to defend his title. Back-to-back championships as he won the February event. He's looking to sweep in 2018. In the 5th position is Dan Lemish. Dan Lemish bowled the only 300 game yesterday and finished at 145 over. And Dan the man is looking to make a splash today. In the 6th position, the only person to win this tournament 2 times is Casey Murphy. He sits at 129 over this morning, and he's looking to be the only person to win this tournament, not only multiple times, but 3 times. In the 7th position, our first senior to mention is Don Breeden. He has been a staple in the Iowa bowling circuit for many, many years and spends most of his time out competing against the names of Bone, Weber, Williams Jr., Tom Baker, and company on the PBA 50 Tour. He has yet to win on the PBA 50 Tour, but has made several finals, and he's currently in 7th position today here at the Fusion. In 8th position, another local who always seems to show up and bowl well for these events. A name you may not hear very often, but his name is Dwayne Kiltz, and he sits at 114 over in 8th position. Coming off an Eagle win this year at the USBC Open Championships, and someone who's dedicated a lot of his life to bowling and has a lot of passion for bowling. In 9th position is Ken Duffield. He sits at 111 over. And rounding out our top 10 is Donald Lee. Donald Lee is from South America. He currently goes to Lindenwood University, I believe. He's 101 over, and he led the C squad last night, which was the lowest scoring squad of the day. If you want to see the complete standings and see where your favorite bowler sits coming into today's competition, you can find that information in 2 places. You can find it at facebook.com/InsideBowling, or you can also find it on twitter.com/InsideBowling, otherwise known as tweeting at InsideBowling. Looking at the scores, the players look ready to bowl. I see higher scoring, better starts, lots of clean frames on 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. We also do have a featured pair for you. We had it all day yesterday for you. We have it again today, and I'm going to switch to it now. Welcome to lanes 13 and 14. On lanes 13 and 14, we have Jacob Bedard, Brett Lobdell, Conan Mackey, and Richard Wilkinson. As the players skip around, you will see the leaders come through. It's strategically placed this way so that towards the end of the block, more of the higher finishing position players coming into today's round will be near our live stream pairs. I will take you through the players that have advanced to today's competition in their entirety at this time. On lanes 3 and 4, we have Kyle Kroll and Chris Pearson, along with Andy Stone and Roger Taylor Jr. On lanes 5 and 6, we have Tony Miller and Tommy T-Cats, along with Matt McNeil and Chad Nelson. I've already gone over lanes 7 and 8 and lanes 9 and 10, so I will skip to 11 and 12. Andy Shutt, Christopher Yadeau, Quincy Bruce, and Chris Gibbons are on 11 and 12. On 13 and 14, we have Jacob Bedard, Brett Lobdell, Conan Mackey, Richard Wilkinson, who you're watching on your screen right now. On 15 and 16, we have Brandon Biondo, Tom Hess, Kenny Calkins III, and Nick Pate. On lanes 17 and 18, it's Dan Lemish, Casey Murphy, Don Breeden, and Dwayne Kiltz. On lanes 19 and 20, we have Ken Duffield, Donald Lee, and Shea Bittenbender bowling with only 3 on their pair because Ryan Zager, as I mentioned at the top of the show, is not bowling today because of a possible food poisoning / just not feeling well today. Zager came in 11th position at plus 96, so he must not have really not been feeling well to not be able to come out and compete and try to take home this title. On lanes 21 and 22, we have Dave Axon, Billy Hibbard, Nick Heilman, and Steve Taylor. On lanes 23 and 24, we have Tony Manna, Michael Martell, Tom Adcock, and Brian Halen. On lanes 25 and 26, we have Dave Barris, Dan Bach, Dave Dentlinger, and Ryan Lakota. On lanes 27 and 28, we have Brent Boho, Jonathan Shallow, Joe Engelkist, tournament director, by the way, and Zach Rhodes. On lanes 29 and 30, we have Greg Engelkist, Edward Peterson, Chris Hill, and Kiho Kyun. And that rounds out our field today. One of these players will take home the 2018 September event, Infusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open title. It's a mouthful, that title, but with 2 co-title sponsors, that's what will happen. I am now going to head over to our Facebook page where you're all watching the feed here today to interact with you and just check in and see how you're all doing. It's Sunday, and this is the time of the day that we do get serious here on Inside Bowling, and we start to really try to paint a story and present these players the best way possible for you. I do want to thank Tom Hess yesterday for his time in the booth. He sat here with me for B squad and C squad after leading the first squad, and I can't tell you enough how much that means to me to have somebody to be able to sit in with me when I come up here by myself and bring bowling action to you. Hopefully you enjoyed some of our banter and you got a peek in a little bit at our friendship yesterday as we brought you the bowling in the stores all day long. Checking out here in the chat, BJ Skiffington, how are you, sir? Jake Cook, how are you? Jennifer Miner, hello. Janelle Miller, Monty Wiesenhunt, Nico Puhar, Craig Carter, Todd McGill, Billy Locke. Yuri Silowitz, no kidding. How you doing, Yuri? Craig Carter, Roger Munson, Andy Mills. Andy Mills offers a comment here, says Nick Heilman bowled 2 games with vertigo 4 years ago, so it must be something really bad for Ryan. Hello to Danielle Vandermeer, Larry Carson, Craig Carter, Nate Weidenhauser. Donald Augusto Lee Priscilla says hello from Panama and Uruguay following Donald Lee today. Thank you for watching. We'll do the best we can to bring your son on the screen for you to be able to watch him bowl all the way from Panama and Uruguay. Awesome to have you here. Hello to Nick Walker and Scott Erickson and Chase Rhodes and Brian Dennis and Ken Gassel and Brandon Zur, Jason Timmerman, Simon Little, Jimmy Sessions, J.R. Thompson, Stephen Lawson, Jacob Mickelson, Chase Rhodes. Hello to everybody out there watching today. We're glad you're with us. Make sure you give us a like or a love or whatever you like there. And also, if you don't mind, interact with us throughout the chat. I will check in on that. And also, make sure you share this broadcast, especially this afternoon as we get ready to bring you the finals. We've got 6 games this morning. I anticipate this getting over around 12 or 12:30. And we should go into the modified stepladder format that they run here at the Fusion. If you are not familiar with what happens after this cut right here, I'm going to get you up to speed right now. You might want to grab a pen and paper, or at the very least a laptop and a Microsoft Excel document, because it's a lot to take in. Are you ready? So this is what we do. What's going to happen is after these games, you take the pinfall from yesterday and you combine it with these 6 games this morning. So that'll be a total of 13 games, total pinfall. We're going to take the top 10 bowlers at that point in time. Then what's going to happen is the 10th place qualifier is going to bowl the 7th place qualifier. And the 8th place qualifier is going to bowl the 9th place qualifier in a bracket. The winner of each one of those matches will then go on to take on the 5th and 6th qualifiers. They will each bowl in the bracket, and the winners of each one of those matches will become the 5th seed once they bowl each other. Then we'll flip to the other end of the building, somewhere around 19 and 20. And so at that point, we'll have the 5th seed, and they will take on the 4th seed, who will have been sitting for about an hour and a half. Winner of that will then take on the number 3 qualifier, then the number 2 qualifier, and then the top seed, who will have been sitting for about 2.5 to 3 hours, will bowl a championship match on lanes 9 and 10 right in front of my booth to determine who will win the 2018 September version of the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. So that's how we do it. Montel Jordan said it best. This is how we do it. And that's what they do every time here at the Fusion. Switching lanes for every single match, which is an absolute nightmare for us moving the cameras. But we do it. And that's been the format, and that's what makes this event so unique. Hello to Ryan Sample. Hello to William Rodriguez. Hello to Russ Cruz, Jeff Weiss. Hello to J.R. Thompson. Oh, Kimberly's up. Good morning, Kimberly. Jerry Mars, Cliff Connors, Kelly Rouse, Craig Carter, Thomas Wall, Travis Papp, Simon Little, Aaron White. Welcome, everyone. Now, I did just notice something. Looks like my cameras have moved ever so slightly, and I'm not real happy with the way these scoreboards look. So I'm going to take you back over to 7 and 8, 9 and 10, and I am going to rebuild the scoreboards for you on our featured pair on 13 and 14. My eyes are panning the building, looking to see if there are a string of strikes beginning in the first frame through the 7th or 8th frame, and I do not see any of that going on currently. Although I do see more strikes around me than I saw yesterday. I have indeed fixed the scoreboards, and I am now going to show you the masterful recropping of scoreboards that I have created. So there you go. There you have it. Hopefully you enjoy that. Everything coming through okay, everybody? Can you guys hear me just fine? Is the feed clear? Let me know. Most of the time, when you look for our bowling streams, we're on the YouTube, and we will have all our footage archived on YouTube. But there's something really funny going on with YouTube this weekend. Evidently yesterday there was like an outage of YouTube throughout the country, and for whatever reason our streaming services would not connect to YouTube. So it took me a while to troubleshoot, and it wasn't anything I was doing wrong. So we actually got on the air yesterday in the late in the 5th game and decided to make the switch over to Facebook. Excellent, excellent. You know, I'm seeing here in the chat room quite a few people that I used to spend a lot of time with for 7 years of my life at Crest Bowl in Florissant, Missouri. I see several of you. I see Zur, I see Ken Gassel, some other St. Louis natives in here. It's good to see you guys in the chat. I really cherish the time we spent together and really enjoyed working there and getting to interact with you guys so often. So I really cared about that place. I really did. And tried to provide the best lane condition, best food quality, adequate pricing that could keep the bowling center open and profitable so that you'd have a place to bowl in, offering specials for the league bowlers, running the birthday parties on the weekend so that lineage didn't have to go up as much for the league bowlers. Open play could help take care of some of that to be profitable. And really enjoyed my time there with you guys up there in Florissant. So it's good to see you in the chat. Saw Billy Locke as well. He spent a lot of time at Crest Bowl. So first IB Open was at Crest Bowl, first and the second edition. Travis Papp says, all I can remember, Mike, is the Sky Bolt. And yes, that is true, the Sky Bolt. It's the only ball that I bowled 2 300 games with in my career. One in collegiate competition, as a matter of fact. Last night I took on Tom Hess in a house ball challenge and completely embarrassed myself. I'm now motivated to get out and throw the rock around a little bit more and prepare for the next time I get called out like that. Actually, I think I called him out. Well, we take a look at this 4-7 conversion. I'm going to bring up the oil pattern. That's a look at the oil pattern for this year's event. Like I said, it's been really tricky. Take you back over to 7, 8, 9, and 10. Got a 199 game posted on the board. Possible 235 for John Marsala. It looks like he's going to go back to his bag and grab a different ball and see what he can do here on a fill shot. Brian Stubblefield with the open in the 10th frame, a single pin miss for 199. I'm sure that there he'd like to have back. Dave Kuchera up now on lane 8. That could have been worse, could have been better for Dave. He's right in the 1-3. Travis Anderson with a strike in the 9th on 10. Marsala finishes with 234. 234 for John Marsala. John Marsala went on just about a month ago, PBA 50 Tour, got a national title. Defeated Michael Haugen Jr. in the championship match. His biggest moment in his bowling career just came about a month ago. He's a celebrity now. John had to bowl twice yesterday. Came in 45th position, although that's not exactly accurate because there were some re-entries that were crossed off this list. So we'll just call it 43rd. He comes into the day minus 20. So after bowling 234, he puts himself plus 14 now. The cut line right now is 10th position at plus 101. 101. My prediction is about 150 is going to put you in really good shape for making the top 10, and I might be high with that number. But about 150 is what you want to get to. That's my gut call right now on what it's going to take to make it into the top 10. Now, I am going to get up and move. I got to move here a little bit, but I think I see something interesting here. Kenny Calkins III, it looks like he bowled 128 from my vantage point. Yes, 128, and he was in 3rd position. Tom Hess looks like he bowled 224. And Nick Pate bowled 278. Nick Pate, 278. Once again, he won the February event here and comes in today in 4th position. And it has had 220, and I believe Brandon Biondo had a game in the 220s from what it looks like here. It might be 230. Kenny Calkins Jr., 128. Yuri, I'm catching up in the chat. Yuri says, loved living in and bowling in St. Louis. Great people, great leagues and tournaments. Yuri, I remember when you bowled at Arnold Bowl, I think you won the Arnold Match Play League, if I remember correctly. You could definitely bowl. Hello to Joe Nolan. John Quincy Adams in the chat. John Quincy Adams. Yeah, I'm not making fun of your name. It's just funny to read that. Chase wants to know where's Shea. Well, Shea's here in the building. He's in 12th position, so he'll be making his way through a little bit later once they start skipping. Let's see. Hello to John Hansen, Chad Robert Robinson, Eric Pollock, and Cliff Barnes. Hello, guys. Is that pattern the reason most are playing 15 to 20 game one? Yeah, there's just huge OB. And once it gets out there, it's just really tough to manage it. So, yeah, the inside portion of the lane, Hess started in around 20 yesterday and just kind of played fallback all day and led the field in the morning, 224 over. Hello to John Chapman, Rick Ramsey, Kenny Ryan, we miss you, buddy, Tyler Perry. And, yeah, Travis said he saw Tommy T-Cats playing outside. So I think I'm pretty well caught up there. Getting ready to go into game number 2. It's just flying by. Really appreciate everybody being with me this morning. Hopefully I'm able to tell you and get you up to speed on everything that's going on in case you didn't join us yesterday. I don't really have any bowling. I have just this last shot here on lane 9 by Travis Anderson. Other games posted on this pair, 214, 190, 161. Right next door, we had a pair of 234s, 199 and 229. So scoring pace, a little bit higher than yesterday. I have no bowling here. I have no bowling here. So might as well bring it into the booth. Good morning, everybody. It's NFL week number 2 as well. To those of you that play DFS, DraftKings, FanDuel, or just your year-long fantasy leagues, good luck to you today. I hope everybody gets the players they want and everything works out well. This is the most exciting time of the year for sports. It's just about that time where we've got the NHL starting back up. We've got the NBA starting back up. NFL is in full season. College football is in full season. And then the baseball playoffs. How great have those been the last few years with the wild card play-in games and everything like that? I mean, and the National League is just absolutely wide open this year. There's no telling who's going to make it in. Really, really exciting time for sports. Bowling leagues have just started back up. Everybody's getting back into the league season. They're kind of getting a feel for what the lanes are playing like. Maybe you're going to drill that new bowling ball. You're going to head out and do that. You're getting ready for tournament season. This event right here is a kickoff for many. We saw Chad Nelson, for instance, who's bowling in this event. He went 99 under yesterday. This guy's won the Mega Bucks twice. Hasn't been bowling a lot over the summer. This is his let's get it going again. Let's get the juices flowing. Let's get some bowling happening again in my life. And he went 99 under and then came back and bowled on the C squad, which he said was way harder than the B squad that he bowled. And he got into the cut. You know, he didn't bowl amazingly well for his talent level, but he's in the cut. He's getting the juices flowing. So what a great time for sports right now. What a great time of the year. The fall leaves are getting ready to come out, and before you know it, it's going to be Turkey Day, watching football, and making those Christmas lists. We'll be heading right into 2019, which in 2019 there'll be 2 Fusion Realtors that you can enter in February and in September. So I'm going to take you back out to the lanes. I think I've got action now. 13 and 14. A little more Travis Anderson for you. A little more Austin Odd for you. A little more Jason Miner and Quentin Bolin. With a name like Bolin, how can you not be interested in the sport of bowling? That's what I want to know. And with that balk and reset, I'm going to move you back over here, let you take a look at some new players. You may recognize that guy. It's Matt McNeil. He's bowling with the Chad Nelson I talked about earlier. Tommy T-Cats, who we have some people in the chat talking about, he's playing out. One of the only people to play out. So we'll keep an eye on him. He's throwing the purple ball. I believe it's an idol from Rotogrip. So you'll be able to get a chance to see him bowl. He left a 10 pin on his first shot. Tony Miller also on lanes 9 and 10. And over on lanes 7 and 8, you've got Roger Taylor Jr., Andy Stone, Chris Pearson, and Kyle Kroll. Welcome in all of our new people watching. I see you all coming in here. Jeff Weiss offers something here. He says, I grew up bowling with Nick Pate and his family in Minnesota. No surprise he comes out swinging. All talented bowlers in the field today. Absolutely. Riggs did not make the trip this time, Rick. Saw you asked about him. Coming into your screen over there on 10 is Tommy T-Cats. You get a chance to see him play out like some of the folks in the chat were talking about. clean up this scoreboard for you a little bit too. My cameras get bumped and moved and jostled around, and my crops on my screen get a little screwed up sometimes. So sorry about that if it was hard to read. Looks like we got that corrected for you. Do we have any PWBA fans in the chat? You guys like watching the PWBA? Who do you think's going to win in Richmond? Who's your pick? You got Danielle McEwen and Shannon O'Keefe have already been penciled in for the show. Are you going to go with the chalk? Are you going to go with those two? Or are you going to pick somebody who's got to battle their way through the bracket to make it to the show? Maybe somebody like Liz Johnson. Maybe somebody like Stephanie Johnson. Or maybe more of a long shot, like a Diana or a Missy. Or Brianna Cote, who's had a much improved year this year. I'm affiliated with the Ebonite International brands, and I can't tell you how proud everybody is over at EBI with the tour reps. They've got more tour reps this year. They've got 8 of the top 16 in the field that have qualified for Richmond. Ebonite, one of the sponsors of the tournament. I work with them all the time. I can tell you that bowling balls are really good over there right now. Wide variety, wide selection. Everybody makes good stuff, but I can tell you Ebonite treats me extremely well, and they're committed to the sport at every level. Junior gold. They've gone from 4 collegiate teams to like over 50 now in the last 4 years. That's a huge investment. A lot of staffers coming over from other brands to EBI. So it's really exciting to be part of that right now. They stepped up and sponsored these events when I moved over to EBI, and no questions asked. Let's support Joe and what he does. Mike, if you're affiliated with that, we want to be affiliated with this group as well. So just really like what they have going on. I haven't made a whole lot of mentions about Ebonite International this weekend, just a little bit here and there. Obviously, I had Hess in the booth, but can't say enough good things about that company, and really stand behind the products that are being made over there right now. Craig Carter's pulling for Shannon Plahowski. It'd be nice if Shannon won. You know, she has yet to win on the new launch PWBA Tour. Needs to get that monkey off of her back. have standings after game numero uno. Cats really does have that working outside, that outside angle. That's a triple now for Tommy. Okay. Leaderboard just got tight. Tom Hess leads at plus 248. 6 pins behind him now is Nick Pate after firing 278 the first game. He's in second at plus 242. Brandon Biondo sits third at plus 225. Dan the Man Limish, quite a drop off here. He's at plus 147. 78 pins behind Brandon Biondo. Dan Limish in fourth at plus 147. Shea Bittenbender, I know we got some fans in the chat of Shea Bittenbender. He came in at plus 92. He's now plus 129 and finds himself in fifth position. Just 2 pins back is Casey Murphy at plus 127. Seventh is Ken Duffield at plus 110. Kenny Calkins at third. Goes from third to eighth at plus 102 after bowling 128. Don Breeden sits ninth at plus 101. Michael Martell is in 10th at plus 99. Donald Lee 10 back along with Dwayne Kiltz. 13 back at the 10th place position is Dave Barris. I'm sorry, Dave Axon. Dave Barris is 14th at plus 70. Followed by Heilman, Boho, Lakota, Dentlinger, Hibbard, Taylor, Halen, Adcock, Manna, Engelkiss, Bach. So there you go. There's your standings. Talented field. We've got some good bowlers right here in front of us. Take it back over 13 and 14. Take a look and see how the players are faring over here. Once again, bowler 1 is Jason Miner. Number 2 is Quentin Bolin. Number 3 is Austin Odd. And number 4 is Travis Anderson. Those are the players you're watching here on 13 and 14. Michael Hayes says, I'd rather watch bowling to keep our spirits up down here in North Carolina. Everybody be safe with Florence still hanging around. Boy, when these storms come through different parts of the country, I just really feel for those that live near it. Thanks for sharing, Michael. You're absolutely right. Bounce back over to our 2 pairs that we have. Get a chance to watch more players. Tommy T-Cats left a 10-pin and missed it, and now has thrown 5 in a row. Roger Taylor converting the 4-pin. Has 1 strike this game, 1 open. Kyle Cole strikes spare. I'm sorry, I take that back. That's not Kyle Kroll. Kyle Kroll's up bowling. But Chris Pearson has strike spare 4-bagger. Take a look at T-Cats here. On lane 9. Looking for 6 in a row, the 6-pack. Playing out, like you guys mentioned. And another strike. Let's see if my replay is working. Let's take a look at it again. He liked it. I haven't mentioned it yet, but we do have an online store at Inside Bowling. And it's one way that you can help support what we do. We provide free coverage of these events and things like that for you. And just by liking our pages and sharing our content, that's enough. But if you do enjoy T-shirts or Josh Blanchard's book, which are the things that we sell currently, you can save 15% with coupon code YouTube. Certainly would appreciate you supporting what we do. You've been supportive all along, whether you purchase anything from our site or not, but it is there. And my team's working hard at trying to generate some new revenue sources so that we can do more. It does cost money to put these things on. You know, just for instance, yesterday, my streaming software, you know, gets updated every, like twice a year. And, it was $1,200 for this streaming software, right? Which, it's what I do. It's part of running a business. But yesterday when I was having problems streaming to YouTube, I thought maybe because I was running version 7.7, which is like 2 years old, because I just don't stream a whole lot anymore, and I couldn't justify upgrading. Well, I thought, well, I got to bite the bullet, I got to upgrade. So it was $449 yesterday to upgrade to version 10.1. $449 that I did not expect paying yesterday. So I got to sell about 60 T-shirts to make up for that. But hey, I run a business here. It's part of doing business. It's just no other way around it. So, but my team, I can tell you, I got a team, and the team has said, Mike, when you go stream these tournaments, you need to talk more about the T-shirts. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I just have a hard time doing that. So instead, I'd rather just openly discuss the financials of running a business. I guess I'll throw this out there, too. If anybody listening has like a really good business idea, I don't care what it is, and you just don't know how to get it off the ground, and you want to talk some shop about opening a business, shoot me an email, Mike@InsideBowling.com. I would love to talk to you about your business ideas and see how we can't work together to pull some of these things off. I love collaborations, and I've been doing a lot of research, and I have a lot of experience with running very unique businesses. I'm very interested in getting involved in doing some other things. Very, very interested in that. I have an infrastructure set up and a system set up with some very talented people that can help from a marketing side of things. So, no idea is a bad one. Matt McNeil with a strike. He's wearing his red on Sunday like Tiger, I guess. He's -8 coming into this game. Alex Bryce in the chat says, from what I can see, Tommy's going to stay where he is most of the day. It looks like most people are 5 to 8 left of him down lane. Absolutely right. Hello to Todd Pagano and Jesse Mapp. Good to see you guys. Hello to Kenny Seymour who's watching this morning. I see you out there, buddy. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well. Sue, I do have standings. I need to look into my infrastructure of how I'm going to get that out today. Sue, I just tweeted out Game 1 standings, the first page. T-Cats now looking to go back 11, 279. $277. Pretty impressive game for Tommy T-Cats playing that part of the lane. Not everybody's playing out there. He did a really nice job that game. Left a 10-pin the first frame. Missed it. 10-bagger. 8 count. Pretty good scores around here. 235, 193, 277. T-Cat's the only one to be able to bowl a big game here on 9 and 10, though, as I look at the scores. I was looking over to the right, the pair to the right. We got 204, 184, 236. Dave Kuchera and Brian Thompson with pretty big games, 257 and 236 over on 11 and 12. Andy Stone finished with 181. So, game number 2 in the books. 4 to play. Nobody is bowling around here. I've got nobody here. I've got nobody here. So, once again, I'll bring it back into the booth. Glad you're with me today. Glad you're watching this event. They didn't quite fill the event this year, which is a little unfortunate. Normally this event fills. Sometimes there's been waiting lists. I'm not real sure why it didn't fill. Still had a lot of entries, though. Exactly 163, which is a great weekend tournament, 163 entries. But I know Joe likes to fill this tournament, and I will tell you, being a tournament director, when you don't have that high demand, you become unmotivated to run tournaments. So those of you that are watching online and couldn't make it this time, please show up in February. Let's make sure we fill this thing in February, because Joe has a lot of things going on in his life, and there's probably good reason that he may rather spend time with his family than run bowling tournaments. And if the tournament keeps being full, that keeps Joe motivated to run events. If a couple of them don't fill, that's kind of a reason to say, maybe I don't need to do this anymore. Players aren't supporting it. So this is my way of telling you, if you haven't bowled one of these events before, but you've watched them online, it's a great environment. You're not going to find a better payout that's evenly distributed throughout the field. It's a good time. There's a casino up here if you like that kind of sort of thing. There's golf courses. And it's a beautiful weather outside. You should come up and support this event. Bring a friend. Let's fill this thing up in February. Deal? Okay. 13 and 14. Yeah, if you're interested in finding out more information about the events that happen up here, just go ahead and bookmark in your favorites bar on your favorite web browser. I use Google Chrome, but whatever your favorite browser is. GIBA-bowling.com. GIBA-bowling.com. And I'll assume some responsibility, too, here, folks. I should have probably been promoting this tournament through my outlets. Shame on me. So let's all just make sure we fill up this one in February. Yeah, the next Fusion is February 23rd and 24th, 2019. Lonnie Wilson wants to know where can we see the standings. Standings after yesterday are right here on this page, but on Twitter we've been updating after every game. Joe's standing right in front of me right now. I just got done telling all the people, Joe, that that they need to fill this one up in February, because if it doesn't fill, I was just telling the folks a little bit about how I felt after a couple years of not filling my tournament, and it's not here anymore. So hopefully I wasn't speaking out of line. He just gave me the look like, no, you're not kidding. You take pride in selling out events. I'm just telling you right now. It keeps you doing them. Tournament director like Joe is motivated by pride, not by money. That's why the payout's so good. Lonnie, I don't know if I finished my thought, but the standings are on Twitter. Hey, Joe, where's February's going to be? Cadillac. We'll be at Cadillac. 23rd and 24th of February. Kenny Seymour, if you're watching. Hi, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good Sunday morning, my friend. Hi, Mike Pate. Good morning to you as well. All right, I'm going to bounce out of here, head over to lanes 7 through 10. You see the Dave Barris. Bowling with Dan Bach, Dave Dintlinger, and Ryan Lakota. Right next door, Brent Boho, Jonathan Shallow, Joe Engelkiss, and Zach Rhodes. Got standings after game number 2. Your leader is Tom Hess at plus 237. Nick Pate is second at plus 221. And Shea Bittenbender is a man on the move. Shea Bittenbender is now up to third at plus 206. He was 129 over. So I'm just trying to do the math here. 277. Game 2. Brandon Biondo is fourth at plus 194. Fifth is Dan Limish at plus 164. Casey Murphy's in sixth at plus 118. Seventh is Ken Duffield at plus 114. Eighth, Dave Axon at plus 107. Ninth is Dwayne Kiltz at plus 97. And 10th is Tommy T-Cats at plus 86. Tied for 10th is Donald Lee. I'm going to take a screen capture here, I believe, and I will get that tweeted out. Getting those scores tweeted out for you here in just a minute. Standings after the second game of the Cashers round are now up on our Twitter page. If you want to go look at those. I know, Sue, you were interested in that. Can I describe the oil pattern in the lane surface, please? Sure, not a problem. Be more than happy to. Actually, would be delighted to do that for you. So there is the lane pattern. As you can see, 43 feet in length with a reverse brush drop at 34 feet. Using fire oil, 29.79 milliliters of oil on the lanes. It's about a 1.98 to 1 ratio. It's an asymmetric pattern, but I don't think it's favored lefties by any means. See most players playing the inside portion of the lane because there's out of bounds, although we did see Tommy T-Cats earlier play right up the oil line and bowl 270. So it is possible. Tom Hess led the field yesterday, plus 224. He was playing fallback, meaning around the middle arrow, throwing it just out towards the right and letting it just break in a little bit at the end towards the center part of the lane. The lane surface is an AMF. I believe these are HPLs. I don't think they're SPL lanes. Wood approaches. Usually a high friction surface, but for whatever reason in this building, they're not that high of friction. I also believe it wasn't too long ago they had, I believe, Kegel come out and level the lanes so that they were level from side to side, and the topography played more true throughout the house. So there's some info for you. There's Joe Engelkiss, tournament director. Look at that, he gets a strike. Yeah, he got a strike, unbelievable. Hell froze over yesterday when he made it. Yeah, yeah.
Put hell on dethaw?
Yeah.
It's not frozen anymore.
Oh, that's funny. I know I've said it plenty of times, but the Engelkiss family's awesome. Joe's awesome. And his son Greg, yesterday I was giving him a hard time because he made the cut. Said hell froze over.
Picking on the fam.
Yeah, picking on the fam. That's right. Joey Serrar, how are you, sir? What are you up to these days, man? See you there in the chat. Awesome, Joe. Good to see things are going good for you, buddy. Ryan Lakota can finish with 184. Dan Bach finishes with 210 with the last four. Dave Barris can bowl 223. And Dave Dentlinger, 269. I was adding it up. 269 still left for Double D. Here's Brent Boho. He's playing deep. He's got 3 in a row, looking for 4. Ooh, almost an 8-10. Wow. That kind of rev rate, throwing it two-handed and almost leaving an 8-10 is interesting. It's old Dentlinger. And just as soon as I start talking about him and pay a little attention to him, he's working on 260. There's your typical 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. Joe Engelkis had a double and then just has that split, and he is not happy about it. Boho covers the spare. What do you say, Dave? There you go. That's how you pick that up. Textbook. Dave Dentlinger, 249. Possible score. Take you to the high side. Check in on these guys right here. Kyle Kroll, still bowl 220. Andy Stone can still bowl 258. Chris Pearson can bowl 187. And Roger Taylor Jr. can bowl 194. Andy Stone. Should have left him alone. Let him just keep striking. Not on the camera anymore. I see Crystal Bittenbender has joined, and you will be happy to know that your husband has gone from 92 over after 7 games. Now he's 9 games in, and he's jumped from 12th position to 3rd position. He's now 206 over. He's 114 over for his first 2 games. Shea Bittenbender in 3rd position. Don't forget, the cut line is the top 10. We're looking for the top 10 bowlers to advance. The top 4 will be 1 through 4 in the final step ladder. 5th through 10th position have to go through a modified bracket to determine who will be the 5th seed. 10 will bowl 7, 8 will bowl 9. The winners of each one of those matches will then go on to bowl the 5th and 6th seeds to continue on in the bracket. Then the winners of that match will then bowl each other to determine who is the 5th seed to then bowl 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hess yesterday was really hoping to just have to bowl 1 match today. And he still leads, but he's got people knocking on the door now. Sorry for the small earthquake down there on 13 and 14, everybody. Andy Stone can still get to 234. And after that shot, Andy Stone can still get to 234. Just to give you a preview of what will be coming up in game number 4, I see Dave Axon, Rob Amers. I'm sorry, not Rob Amers. That's Steve Taylor. I thought it was Rob Amers hiding around the corner. Sorry about that. So Axon, Hibbard, Heilman, Steve Taylor will be on lanes 7 and 8 for you. They're just getting underway in game number 4. We'll also have Tony Manna, Michael Martell, Tom Adcock, and Brian Halen for you. They'll be on lanes 9 and 10 in game number 4. Thanks for being part of the program today. Viewers and interaction is why we come and do this event. I don't do much of this anymore. It's fun to get out and do it. As long as the people keep watching, I'll keep doing it, at least at a part-time level. See a couple celebrities in here. Phil Brylow, Craig Elliott. Hello, gentlemen. Hope you guys are doing well today, wherever you may be. Laura Stone says, thank goodness for the name on the back of Andy's shirt. I don't recognize him without his hat on. I think, does Joe allow hats? I don't even think about that. I bet he doesn't. You know, I'm trying to think back to the events. If I've ever seen anybody wear a hat. I feel like Kenny Calkins wore one. But I'm not sure. Yes, he's wearing one right now, so hats are allowed. He's wearing one today. So I don't know why Andy Stone's not wearing a hat. $224 though. Kyle Kroll with a 209 game. We're going to bounce out of here, head over to lanes 7 through 10, where we have game number 4 underway on lanes 7 and 8. Game number 3 wrapping up on 9 and 10. Brent Boho up in the 10th frame, looking for a 215 game. And I'll get started here with the first shot in the 10th. Let's see what he does. Oh, jeez. 7-pin for Brent, so now he can bowl 204. Nice little bailout game here by Zach Rhodes. Possible last 5 to shoot 206. Anthony Robbins wants to know what's the highest game rolled so far. Well, we had a 300 yesterday by Dan the Man Limish. As a matter of fact, he wore this shirt right here called the Berries. And the Berries means that you have the berries, which means things are going good for you. You got a good shot out on the lanes. He wore that shirt. It's available on InsideBowling.com, 15% off, coupon code Facebook. You can buy the berries. He bought the berries and shot 300. I don't know if you saw that over to the right, but that was Dave Barris with a messenger, which is not all that often for Dave, the way he bowls. Dave doesn't throw too many messengers, but he got one just a few minutes ago on lane 11. Former champion of this event. Brent Boho bowls 201. Joe Engelkiss here missed the headpin. He's not going to be happy about that at all. Got 188 left. Covers the spare. Tom Adcock's right in front of me right now, shaking his head, waiting to bowl on 9 and 10. He's going to be on the live stream pair. You're all going to get to watch him. He knew he was going to be on a live stream pair, so he wore this bright orange shirt today. You will be able to see him bowling. He said, "See you coming from a mile away," he says today. So here's the thing. Tom, what'd you bowl the first couple? What'd you have the first 3 games? First 3 games? 590 something. So he's averaging 197, 198-ish today, roughly. Here's the deal. I'm going to set the over-under on this game for Tom Adcock at 227. 227. Okay? But here's the odds. If you take the under, it's minus 200. If you take the over, it's plus 180. Plus 180 the other way. So I'm headed over to the Joe Engelkiss cashier, the cage, and I'm putting a smooth 500 on the over 227 at a plus 180 payoff. So we'll keep an eye and see what Tom Adcock does here on 9 and 10. We'll see if we just gave him a little motivation. It wouldn't surprise me if Adcock and Manna didn't try to hustle these 2 young guys in Martell and Halen for the rest of the block. Hey, you guys want to bowl doubles for the rest of the block? 100 a man? It wouldn't surprise me one bit. These 2 young guys are like, yeah, no problem, old guys. We can do that. And at the end of the day, they're over at the ATM asking the guy at the front desk whether or not they can put some more money in the machine because they got to pay Adcock and Manna. Wouldn't surprise me one bit. Wouldn't surprise me. These guys are very, very established players in Adcock and Manna, and some great young talent we're going to get to watch right here in Martell and Halen on lanes 9 and 10. As a matter of fact, if you wanted to take it a step further, you could actually grab Steve Taylor and Dave Axon over on 7 and 8. And let them hustle Heilman and Hibbard, Halen, and Martell. I'm telling you, I got 500 on plus 180 in the sports book. Tom Adcock over 227. I just placed it. Thanks, Anthony, on getting one of those shirts. We can see Tom all the way from Illinois. That's right. No disrespect, Russ Cruz says, but I'm going to take the under. Anthony Robbins wants to know, what's the typical ball that's been thrown here? There is no typical ball. I would say that a controllable ball, one that doesn't hook too much down lane, one that shapes more of a rounded shape with a little bit of surface on it. Right now, Tom Adcock's throwing a Matrix Solid. We've seen a Roto-Grip Idol go down the lane. A couple just that stick out to me. There's Adcock with a double. Adcock with a double, ladies and gentlemen. 227 or bust here. Ten more. Oh, this 227 is soft. He's going to have 227 soft because he just looked up at me and he goes 10 more. He's not thinking about 227. He's thinking about, I threw a shot on 9. I threw a shot on 9, and I guessed pair to pair. They're rough pair to pair, and he struck. Then he went up on 10 and guessed and struck. So now, this is the first time he's probably gone to a pair today where he went up and guessed correctly on both lanes for a double and is now zoned in on knowing that he can make this pair his bitch. I didn't know any other word to say. So let's see how he does. We're going to see how old Tom Adcock does here. Tom's bowled a lot of events that I've live streamed. And he knows I got a lot of respect for him, and I think he's kind of feeling it. As a matter of fact, he's now sitting down. You can't see him, but he's at the score table there, sitting there in his orange shirt, waiting for Martell to go up and pick this 6-8. But I got good news for everybody. I've got standings after game number 3. Shea Bittenbender continues to climb the leaderboard. He's moved from 3rd to 2nd. Tom Hess leads still at plus 270. Bittenbender now 2nd at plus 261, just 9 pins behind. Nick Pate's in 3rd at plus 227. Shea Bittenbender bowled 255 the last game. Nick Pate bowled 206. In 4th is Brandon Biondo at plus 202. 5th is Dan Limish at plus 155. 6th, Ken Duffield at 124. 7th, Dave Axon at plus 119. 8th, Casey Murphy at plus 109. 9th, Dave Kuchera at plus 105. And 10th, Michael Martell at plus 102. Billy Hibbert just outside, 2 pins behind at plus 100. At plus 98 is Dave Dintlinger. And in 13th is Kenny Calkins III at plus 82. We'll have those out on Twitter for you here shortly. Adcock with the first 3. Adcock just came up here, looked at me, gave me a wink, said 9 more. It wouldn't shock me if Tony Manna busts a huge game here. These guys are just crafty veterans. I love it. This Brian Halen's fun to watch, though, I gotta say. He throws it with two hands. Leaves the 4-9 there. He reminds me of a smoother Anthony Simonson. And I know that's easy to say with a two-handed delivery, but there's some similarities besides just the two-handedness. And here comes Tony Manna. Tony Manna's got 3 in a row. Adcock's got 3 in a row. These guys live for the live stream. I'm telling you. Oh, look at Halen. Oh, thought he was going to get that. Meanwhile, over on 7 and 8, strikes aplenty. Steve Taylor and Dave Axon over there. If you're on lane 7 through 10 and you're over 40 years old, right now you're bowling pretty good. Is that going to hook? Is that going to hook? Is that going to hook? I didn't think so. Little right, little right. Maybe a little too nice to it. This is no easy spare. 2-8 for Adcock. Kyle Sherman wants to know, where can we find standings? Well, there's a couple of places there, Kyle. One place you can find all the combined standings for what happened yesterday. You can find those right here on the Facebook page. You can also find them over on our Twitter page at InsideBowling. Now, if you're looking for what's happening right now, which I know many of you are, head right on over to that little Twitter thing, twitter.com, or open the app on your phone. Type in InsideBowling. If you haven't followed us, make sure that you do. And right there, you're going to find updated standings. This has been brought to you by the overdramatic announcer. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I also noticed here in the chat, how's the recovery going, Kyle? Kyle had a surgery that's been planned for a while now, and you know, Kyle's kind of like as famous as Ferris Bueller and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, when you know the guy's sick and everybody around town wants to know how he's doing, and the hot air balloon has saved Ferris and all that stuff. And because of Kyle's YouTube channel and because of the job he's done with creating content, you know, Kyle's in the room. Hey, how's the recovery? Because he posted this vlog of him having surgery. And he's quite popular. He's bowling's version of Ferris Bueller. Kyle sends me, he puts in here thanks with 2 dots, and I know he's laughing. I know there's some sarcasm with that. Man. Well, I'll tell you what, when the old guys stop striking, they stop striking together. You know, Adcock first 3, Manna first 3, no problem. Adcock goes up and gets 8. Manna says, you know what, I'm going to get 8 as well. I'm telling you, I bet they're bowling these 2 young kids 100 a game, doubles and singles. I'm sure they said, hey, how you guys doing today? Want to have a little action on the side? We're just a couple old guys. We're just a couple old guys here. There's Adcock. Oh, he almost the 8-pin. The 8-pin stood up like an inch and just walked backwards off the back of the lane. There's Manna. He'll get back on it. Of course he will. He's just following Adcock. He's like, hey, Tom, you strike, I'll strike. That's the deal. Look at Dave Axon over there. He's doing a little pirouette. Dave Axon can bowl 269. And there's Halen. All right, so Adcock on 10 the last time over here, he gassed it a little bit. He either gassed it with a little speed or he missed it at the bottom trying to be nice to it. And he knows that, so I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. He's really good at repeating shots. He's really, really good at repeating the same thing over and over again. Another strike. This is amazing. It's the orange shirt, man. It's the orange shirt. Hey, Tom, I was telling these guys here, I was like, it wouldn't surprise me if Adcock and Mana showed up today and saw these two kids and said, hey, you guys want to go 100 a man on the side doubles? You guys want to go 100 a man? We can bowl singles, too, just for fun. Just for fun. And I was talking about how you guys, you know, YouTube crafty veterans, you come over to this pair, probably getting reads off each other, and then you throw 3 in a row and get 8. He's like, oh, Adcock didn't strike. I can't strike. I get 8. Adcock strikes. He strikes. I'm just like sitting here just playing this whole thing out in my head. I was just telling Tom what I was telling you guys. He's laughing.
So we can finish the game.
Yeah, right. These guys are good guys. They've just been around for so long. They've seen, you know, Adcock's bowled events where it was like 250,000 for first place, and it's like, you know, he makes it into the top 8. You know, he's bowled for that kind of pressure. You know, and a lot of these young guys, you know, are never going to have the opportunity to bowl for that kind of money at those kind of stakes. You know, Adcock at like high rollers and stuff, there'd be late night jackpots like 1,000 a game, 1,000 a man, 2,000 a man, and you know, people would say, hey, we want you to bowl. You know, people with money back there, we want you to bowl. He's been through all that in his life, so coming to an event like this, you know, he's got ice in his veins. This is nothing. Great event, nothing against the event, but a lot of these young guys, this is the spotlight for them. And these older guys, Mana as well, Mana's done it all. And I really like these guys like this. I kind of root for these guys just because I know how much time and how many hotel nights they've spent in a room and how many times they've slept 5 or 6 guys to a room when they were younger. And they're still bowling. They're still doing it. They still love it. And Dave Axon here. You know, I don't think there's been a fusion I've come to and Dave Axon hasn't bowled. He's bowled every one of these. He never misses this event. Never. Kevin Duncan joined, Neil Sanson, Brian Bowers, how you guys doing? Jay asks, can your next announcement be in the style of NPR? Get really close to the mic and just kind of whisper in a monotone. Thanks. I'm not sure if I'm capable of doing that. Hook, 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 hook. Oh, we got lucky to get the 10 out. Ball never hooked. What's that? Shay did? What do you shoot?
177.
Shay bowled 177?
Shay shot 201.
Oh, 201. You bowled 177? Hess is up here joining me in the booth.
177, 177, 180, and 210 on that pair down there that he just shot 250 on.
So Manna now picks up the 7 pin, so he's still got a possible 234 left. Halen 224. Adcock to bowl 256. Look at the 7-pin fall, and he almost falls over the ball return. He almost fell over the ball return. That was funny. Oh, uh-oh, this is going to hurt my 227 over-under here. Adcock, 410. This is gonna be closer than you think here. Ooh, thought he was gonna pick that for a minute. Okay, so Adcock now can bowl 233. Gonna need a triple. Gonna need a triple.
Point of no return.
Cash my ticket. Yeah. I could have seen a 4-pin there, maybe a 10. Not both. He liked the shot, he said. He said he liked the shot. Well, I'm hoping on 9 he can get that one, and then can double in the 10th. Get this, have a game in the 230s here, and then we can be on our way here with cashing our 227 over ticket at plus 180. Adcock's bowled a good game. It just shows how hard they are and what can happen just with a couple of shots where you're just slightly off. Nick Heilman over there finishes out with 192. Low on the pair, 246, 221, 224. Posted on 7 and 8. That was fun to watch. And according to Hess, he says Shea Bittenbitter will be our leader when we start game 5. Bowling 2-0. So Adcock's not going to bowl 227, but he can still bowl 223. He had 590 coming in. I lost my ticket. Through 6 frames, though, we looked really good. Yeah, I just lost $500, Tom. Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. Like I was like, hey, he came over to this pair, and he guessed on 9 and got a strike. Yeah. Guessed on 10, got a strike. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
Right?
But the last couple of shots that I made, I liked really well. I definitely reacted a lot stronger in the middle game than they were earlier.
Yeah.
Like I just can't chase it fast enough.
Yeah. Tom says they're changing really quick on him. He can't chase it fast enough. He liked a couple of his shots, and they just started hooking. And now you're seeing a 4-pin from Halen. You kind of see the same thing going around with all the guys. Look over here to the left side of your screen. You got Nick Pate now here entering game number 5. Nick Pate here. How you doing? My name's Nick Pate. Nick Pate here. Nick Pate. Casey Murphy just gave me a thumbs down. Guess things aren't going very well for him. You know what? Oh, never mind. Cancel that. Thanks, Mike Pate, in the chat. So Adcock's going to bowl 223. I just set the line too high. But the guy bowled 590 coming in, and I set a line to 220s. He's going to shoot 223. I think I should get something for that. .220 on the nose. guys in the chat are great. There's Tom Hess over there. Brandon Biondo, Kenny Calkins III, Nick Pate, Tom Hess on 7 and 8. They are in game number 5. Finishing up game number 4 still, Manna, Adcock, and Halen. Looks like Casey Murphy's coming over to bowl on that pair next, along with Dan Limish, Don Breeden, and Dwayne Kiltz. I know we have some Donald Lee fans. He missed our pairs. He's not going to catch our pairs here, but he is over on lane 11 right now. You'll be able to see him throw a shot. Shea Bittenbender also is going to miss our pairs right now, as he's also on 11 and 12 with Donald Lee. Adcock says to Decatur, hey everybody. He enjoyed his visit here. Man, we got some other great bowlers just entered here. We got Greg Thomas, Carl Fitek in the chat. Hi guys. Okay, I can officially turn the page. We are in game 5 now. Game 5 of 6. Nick Pate here, 4 in a row. Just 4 in a row. I'm Nick Pate. I'm Nick Pate. The reason why I say Nick Pate here, by the way, you guys, is I do video shoots with EBI, and we use Nick Pate in a video shoot for like 3 Columbia 300 balls. And when it was time for him to do his A-roll on screen, talking about the balls, he would start out every single time with these words. Nick Pate here to talk about the all-new Sabre from Columbia 300. Nick Pate here. What I like about the Juke is, Nick Pate here, the new lit. Nick Pate here. So it's like kind of stuck. Nick Pate here. You just look at him. Nick Pate here. Here he is. Tom Hess up on 7. What do you say there, Big Daddy? Oh, he's kind of fighting it today. He had everything yesterday, but he's kind of fighting it today. Just from what I can see with him bowling on 7 and 8, he left a 9 pin. A little bit high for a 3-6-10. Fighting it. Casey Murphy gave me a thumbs down a little bit ago, which means he's bowling bad. Ooh. Nick Pate with a 9 pin. Let's see how Casey's playing him. Wrap 10. on the standings after 4 here for you in just a moment. Glad you're with us watching the 2018 September event. It's the Fusion Realtors Community First National Bank Open. I'm Mike Flanagan. Been bringing you the coverage here this entire weekend. We had 3 squads for you yesterday. We had 7 games in each one of those squads. 163 bowlers in total. We have the top 56 here today. They're bowling on a 2-to-1 very flat oil pattern. It's been very, very deceiving for the players. Not for Shea Bittenbender, though, on the right side of your screen, as he has gone from 12th to 1st. And I have the standings that were just handed to me. Shea Bittenbender leads at plus 262, and second is Tom Hess at plus 247. And third is Brandon Biondo at plus 215. At fourth is Nick Pate at plus 207. In fifth is Dan Limish at plus 156. In sixth is Billy Hibbert at plus 146. In seventh is Dave Axon at plus 143. In eighth is Ken Duffield at plus 127. Ninth is Dave Dintlinger at plus 116. And even though Casey Murphy gave me the thumbs down, he's in 10th at plus 115, bowling right in front of us. So he's inside this cut number. He can still win, and he's won twice here. Just on the outside looking in at plus 107 is Donald Lee. And Dave Kucheris sits 12th at plus 94. If you want to see these standings, we'll have them tweeted out for you here in just a few moments over on Twitter. So Hess is just fishing around, just going at a 2-0 pace. Nick Pate is certainly lined up, and now Casey Murphy's seeing what Brian Halen saw, which is a 4-9. I think that lane 9 is sparking more in the mid lane than some of the other pairs for these guys. There's Nick Pate with that red impulse. He used it here last time. When he won. Shay's 8-pin over there on 11. Did you guys see that? Oh, my. Oh, my. I don't know if I've ever seen a pin come dancing in front of the 8-pin like that. Wow. Wowie, wowie, wowie. Hey, the 1987 Amateur Bowler of the Year made it to the streaming pair. 1987 Amateur Bowler of the Year. Is that Don Breeden? Dan the man with the spare after starting with a triple, 7 spare, 9 spare. Casey Murphy still trying to get his first strike on the board here as he sits as the number in 10th position. Shea Bidmender is going to probably run away and hide and be your #1 seed in this tournament. He's working on 258. He's up in the 10th frame on lane 11. He goes front 5, split conversion, which was an 8 spare. Strike, 9 spare, which was that run over the rack 8-pin that he had. Wow, and he almost just left a 7-pin. And then he triples. So he's going to shoot 258. The man's on fire. He's bowling so good right now. And Nick Pate is bowling awesome as well with a possible 279. And all Hess can do is stare up at the screen and think he's going to shoot 180. And he's going to get passed by Pate. Bittenbender's going to run away from him even more. And Brandon Biondo can shoot 236. So Hess sees what's going on and I know isn't liking it at all. I didn't know Breeden was the 1987 Amateur Bowler of the Year. Got a lot of respect for Don Breeden. I just did not know that stat. That's pretty cool. And of course, Tommy knocks them all down on his fill for 184. And it wasn't Nick Pate with 279, it was Biondo with the 279. My apologies, everybody. Pate's going to shoot in the 230s if he can get a double here in the 10th. When the lanes flip, I messed that up. You'd think I'd have that figured out after a full day of streaming. But. So Brandon Biondo can shoot 258 here. And Biondo found himself in third. So yeah, he's going around pass, but Bittenbender bowled 258, so he's not going to pick up anything on Shea. Nick Pate was already 50 ahead of Limish. Limish is over here bowling on 9. So the top 4 have really separated themselves from the rest of the field. So your top 4 is probably going to consist of Shea Bittenbender, Brandon Biondo, Nick Pate, and Tom Hess, and probably in that order. And it's a dogfight for 5th through 10th. 5th is Limish at 156, all the way down to 10th is Casey Murphy at 115, all the way down to 15th of 82, Michael Martell. So we're still in game 5 on the right side of your screen, lanes 9 and 10. And game 6 on 7 and 8. Don Breeden looking for a double here. Fast 8 for Breeden. I'm telling you, that lane 9 just wants to check up. We've seen, like I said, 4 9s, fast 8s, splits. Casey misses the head pin to the right. Maybe that's why he gave me the thumbs down. Maybe he's just not bowling good. We've got some new players entering in lanes 7 and 8. We've got Christopher Yadeau, Andy Shutt, Quincy Bruce, and Chris Gibbons, and they are starting their 6th game. Once again, Casey finds the hook in the mid lane and crosses over, but he doesn't have to go on that lane anymore. Hook. Yeah, ball never was going to hook. Dan the man with a strike in the 10th. Still bowl 2-0. 2 single pin misses this game though. That'll drive him crazy. It's 22 pins. Given up. Could be 222 if he strikes out, but not able to convert to single pins. Don made a ball change to see what he had there, and that ball checked early too. Read way early. Kelchi and Conley. Murphy had the bucket there for a minute. Just leaves the 4. So after we finish up here on 9 and 10, just about every other pair will be going into game number 6. Don't forget, we're trying to get down to the top 10 players for our modified bracket. 1 through 4 will be seated into the step ladder, and then 5th through 10th we'll have to go through a bracket elimination format to see who becomes the 5th seed. And of course, Casey Murphy throws a strike to finish the pair here. 190, 197, 230, and 184, your 4 scores for game number 5. Heading into the last game, we'll update our scoreboard down below. Game 6 of 6, we've officially transitioned over. Checking on 13 and 14, they are done. So we'll just stay here where we've been hanging out for quite a while. Lane 7 and 8. We wait for the new group of bowlers to come over to lanes 9 and 10. to welcome all of our new viewers that have just come in. I'm Mike Flanagan from Inside Bowling here, bringing you the coverage of the game 6 of 6 here in the Cashers round. We're looking to get down to the top 10 as soon as I have scores after 5, which there's going to be some people in 6 that are complete. This, by the way, this pair right here, 7 and 8, they are ahead of everyone by 5 frames. 5 and 6, 7 and 8 are 5 frames ahead of everybody else. Most everybody else is just starting game 6, with the exception of 11 and 12. 11 and 12 actually is about halfway through the game as well, and those are your leaders as well, except for Bittenbender, who's made a big run. He's down on 15 and 16. He's just starting his 6th game. Tom Hess has started with strike, spare, spare, double, spare. Kenny Calkins, gutter 9, 9 spare, triple, and he's throwing it at 10 pin now. Brandon Biondo struggling a little bit, 8 spare, strike, 8 spare, 9 spare. Nick Pate, triple, 8 spare, strike. So that's an update on the leaders. On lanes 9 and 10, by the way, we do have Jacob Bedard, Brett Lobdell, Conan Mackey, and Richard Wilkinson in game number 6. I'm going to tell you something, everybody. When we get to this step ladder and we get to the top 4 bowlers, not to take anything away from the bowlers below them, but right now, Shea Bittenbender is on fire, and he's most likely going to be your top seed. Brandon Biondo and Nick Pate have been so steady today. They bowled awesome. And then Tom Hess, who bowled awesome yesterday, who's always exciting to watch in match play, head-to-head. Probably the most accomplished player in the field. Having him in there as well will be just an outstanding top 4 later on this afternoon to watch. I have standings after game number 5 just delivered to me. Hot off the press. Shea Bittenbender, your leader, at plus 320. Brandon Biondo in second at plus 273. In third is Nick Pate at plus 242. In fourth is Tom Hess at plus 231. Fifth is Dave Axon at plus 156. Dan Limish is sixth at plus 153. Dave Dentlinger is 7th at plus 151. 8th is Billy Hibbert at plus 129. 9th is Dwayne Kiltz at plus 123. And 10th is Ken Duffield at plus 110. Now, here's where it's interesting. Michael Martell is 11th at plus 101. And Steve Taylor's also at plus 101. Casey Murphy has slid back to 13th at plus 99. Dave Barris is in 14th at plus 81. Chris Hill in 15th at plus 80. So there we have it. That's what we have going on here. And I'm going to try to do the best I can to help you with telling the story of who's going to make it in. Is TA still in? Tom Adcock. No, he's 77 over and 16th. I mean, he can still get there. A lot of guys can still get there. Just need a huge game.
29 and 30 because he took 31 and 32 out. Whatever he did there, he done it 29 and 30. Oh, dude, they had a fun time on it. 29 and 30. Awesome. That's like
I'm going to work on getting scores for you. Everybody's about halfway through. Looks like Calkins shoots 203. He's going to finish at plus 46. Rough day today for Kenny Calkins. Came into the day in third position. Tom Hess will be off to the right side of your screen. He's on lane 11. He's up in the 10th frame. Fill ball. Can still shoot 235. And so Tom Hess, 235. He finishes a plus 266. Nick Pate can still bowl 237. Make that 227 now. I'm going to take you over to our feature pair because we have players over here that are in contention of the cut. Nick Pate finishes with 227. So that puts him at plus 269. Hess is at 266. So Nick Pate stays ahead of Tom Hess by 3 pins. $169 for Brandon Biondo. So that's 31 off of there. 72, 242. Brandon Biondo goes to plus 242. So right now it looks like Nick Pate will be second. And you're watching Dan Limish, who's in 6th. Casey Murphy, who's in 13th. Dwayne Kiltz, who's in 9th. And Don Breeden, who is currently in 18th at plus 60.
What's going on, Michael?
Hello, I'm working on the scores.
You're working on the scores?
Yep. Looks like you're going to be third.
Yeah, 3 pins. Nick got me. I didn't bowl very good today. Made a nice little move there in the 8th frame, though, to finally get away from the friction a little bit, get the ball through the front of the lane a little better, and, you know, back 5, to which got me back around Brandon. So, moved me up at least 1 spot for the step ladder. If I'd have had to bowl 3 more games on 29 and 30, I'd have probably got about 28th. That pair wasn't good. At least not for me. You watch a bowler the caliber of Shea Bittenbender shoot 255 on that pair.
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, sweet, I'm going to go to that pair. You know, it's going to be great reaction. Going to be able to go down there and throw a big score, either I never really looked at Shea to see exactly where he was playing, what ball he was throwing, but he must have been in a different part of the lane than all
Thanks,
of
brother.
us.
Appreciate it.
Because we all missed the head pin like the first 3 or 4 shots down there. When you got the top 4 bowlers in the tournament going down to that pair, and 2 guys shoot 177 and 1 guy shoots 180, and Brandon actually had the high game of our 4 on that pair with 213, I believe he had, and a guy pulls you by 50. Tells you he's in the right part of the lane, or he aced a whole bunch of shots.
Yep.
And you know, with Shea, he probably a little bit of both. He was probably in a different part of the lane, and he probably aced a whole bunch of shots because he's a really good bowler.
He's been playing pretty deep.
Yeah. I suppose I probably should have went and looked to see what he was playing, but I was trying to do what I needed to do, what I thought I needed to do, not what somebody else was doing.
Right.
You know, tournament's not over. Still got a shot. Got to get to sit and watch a little bit of bowling. Might chat with you for a while, unless you want somebody else to do it.
No, that'd be great.
And relax.
So I'll tell you what would be beneficial.
Okay.
Either you or I
Okay.
go down and write down these scores.
Go down and write down those scores.
Yeah. So that we can announce what this number is going to be.
You got your phone up? You want me to go down and text you some scores?
You can just take it with you.
Oh, you just want me to take it and go write it down?
Yeah, or you can sit here and relax, and I can go do it. It's up to you.
No, man, this is your show.
Yeah, if you,
I'm the paid employee. You tell me what you want
to
me
go.
to do.
Yeah, we just need to try to figure out who's doing what here.
Okay, you tell me what you. Well, there's
Yeah.
a whole bunch of guys that are going. Well, no, they're all going to be down here.
Yeah.
You go do it.
All right, I got it.
I'll sit here.
I got it.
Make it so I can read the chat. Show me what I got to do to scroll through in case anybody's asking any questions. Is TA still in? I don't know.
Tom Adcock, no, he's not. I answered that one.
Okay. Who's on this pair right now? We're watching Dwayne Kiltz, Casey Murphy, Don Breeden, and who's the other one on that pair? Oh, Dan Lemish. Hope everybody enjoyed the show today. Anybody in the chat got any questions? Mike took the scores, so I can't even talk about the scores. I don't know if the freezes froze up. I can't get anything to come up if anybody's asking, so please don't think I'm ignoring you. How about them Chiefs? 21-0 on the Steelers. Justin, I'm going to be third. I did not bowl very good today. Shea Bittenbender absolutely wrecked him. He went on a stretch where he went 250, 270, 250, I believe. Well, they've been showing the pattern quite a bit. Brian, I used a little bit of everything today. Started with the ripped solid, shot 230 with it. Started playing around, went to the next pair. The next pair, the right lane, both lanes were a ton tighter, and I decided to be a dumbass and stand there and try to make it hook for 8 frames. And in the 9th frame, I finally moved my feet left. As I've been telling some of the kids that I've been helping on sport patterns, you know, you don't want to go right because you're just going to stay right into the oil. You want to go a little bit left. And I finally decided to do that in the 9th frame and throw a 4-bagger for 189. Went to the next pair, was pretty good. Shot 230 on that pair after going 220, 180. Shot 230, and then shot a whopping 177 on 29 and 30. Ball would not hook. you know, just couldn't get anything going there. Then come down into the high end, they're hooking. Thought I bowled a pretty good 180 game. A couple of shots that could have carried. I chopped a spare, never threw a double. I must have had a double because I had 184. Then shot 230 on the end, throwing the GB3 Pearl. Finally got far enough left to get it into the friction in the right part of the lane, and ended with a 5-bagger for 230. Hi, Debbie. Thank you. Your kid got me by 3. Thought you taught your kids to respect their elders, not beat them. Come on. I need to join you for therapy, Russ. Let me see if I can get here. Number of lefties to make the top 10. That I don't know, Ken. Let me go see if I can find an updated sheet here on my phone. Mike took the score sheet with him. Mike went down to see what's going on so he can come back and report on cut numbers. For those that don't know, they take the top 10 advance after these 6 games. 7 bowls 10, 8 bowls 9. Winners move on to bowl 5 and 6. The winners of those 2 matches bowl each other for the 5th seed in the stepladder. The top 4 scores are seeded into the top 5 stepladder. Looking around, the only lefty I see close to the top 10 here is Donald Lee. Don't think a whole lot of lefties made the cut this week. Marco Martel is in here. John Marsala made the cut, but I'm not sure how they're all bowling today. Yeah, not really sure what all's going on. I'm not sure, Adam. I think it'll probably be back here at Maple. I think the reason we moved in February of last year was because Maple had state tournament. Thanks, Red. Yeah, technically, I'm trying to get. There was a gentleman. He must know you. Oh, what was his name? I can't remember the gentleman's name. Said that he would drive. He was from the Minneapolis area. Said he would drive down if I threw 4 strikes last night with an 8-pound plastic ball. And I'm trying to get him on a technicality because I threw 3 strikes but had a gutter spare. And with an 8-pound plastic ball, you know, technically there was 4 shots that I knocked down all 10 pins with 1 shot. I think that should count. I think he should drive down and buy us lunch. Russ, I don't know. I don't get what you're talking about there. I'm not liking that. I would need therapy if we did that, Russ. Wish I had some more information on scores. I don't know what's going on here.
I was shocked. But now I got more games in than I did all year, so.
Look at all that practice. You'll be ready for Thursday now.
Yeah.
Right, nice finish. Yeah, that's 24 clean, buddy. That's 24 clean. All right, we'll see you Thursday, Jay.
What, 100 each, what are you going to throw? Are you going to be like Mike? Mike was giving me pins last night because I was throwing an 8-pounder to his 14-pounder. What pound are you going to throw, Brian? What are we going to do here? Craig, I don't know exactly what the payout is, but this event is pretty good. It was supposed to pay $3,000 with a full field of 180. We didn't quite get there, so I don't know what it's going to pay. Oh, what is it, Cadillac again? Thanks for checking on that, Eddie. What's up with you, buddy? How come you're not over here? You should be over here bowling. Actually, I'm glad you're not, because I'd probably be in 4th then instead of 3rd. Has Mike been posting them on Twitter? Can anybody in the chat answer me that? Let me go to, let's see if I can get to his Twitter page, see what's going on there. Here comes Mr. Flanagan. What's that? Kilts. Kilts had the 230. Did Kilts have the 232? Did Kilts have the 232? Was he in 8th to start the day?
I don't know where he was to start the day.
Oh, boo-hoo, Eddie. I got 600 revs. I can't get far enough left. Come on. Tough problem to have. Okay, so after 5, as I said, Shea absolutely bombed him today. Brandon fell to 4th. I don't think Dave Axon. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be. I mean, it's going to be interesting for the top 10, but for the top 5, I think it's pretty much top 4. Excuse me. It's pretty much going to be Shea, Nick, me, and Brandon. Mike is down looking for scores. I'm sitting here just blabbering. Okay, what if I go? What if I tell him to extend the ball returns in February over there, Eddie? What excuse are you gonna come up with then? You know, I don't come over to Peoria to bowl with you guys because they don't have long ball returns, and you can get way left and you continue to kick my butt. That's why I don't come over there. That's why I don't come to Peoria anymore. I can't beat you. Just kidding, Eddie. Well, Mike, the people are all anxiously waiting.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Math is hard. We had this discussion last night, didn't we?
We did.
They're waiting in suspense. Brian.
Okay, so Shea Bittenbender is going to be your leader at plus 334. Second is Nick Pate at plus 269. Third is you, Tom Hess, at plus 266. Fourth is going to be Brandon Biondo at plus 242. Fifth is going to be Dave Axon at plus 173. Sixth is going to be Dwayne Kiltz at plus 155. Seventh is Dave Dintlinger at plus 153. Eighth is Billy Hibbert at plus 131. Ninth currently is Michael Martell at plus 124. And then 10th currently would be Dave Barris at plus 122.
Well, 122's, yeah, 122.
Dan Limich finished at plus 121 because he bowled 168.
Oh.
And Tom Adcock, or Tony Manna had 249 left. But that's not enough. So according to my calculations, unless something crazy happened, Michael Martell will be 9th and Dave Barris will be 10th. That's my calculations. Now, I don't know what Chris Hill had.
He needed Chris needed 240.
Yeah, Chris Hill needed 240. And I did not see that score.
I think I've heard the best excuse of ever for a guy not to come bowl.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Eddie Flanagan. Can't bowl because of the ball returns. They're too long here. He can't get far enough left on the right lane.
Really?
Yeah, it must be a problem having that many goddamn revs that you can't get far enough left, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you're 48 and you're pucking it down there like me.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, I'm going to go with you. The professor just told us that 122 is the number, so I'm going to say that you're probably right.
Yep, 122.
He's never wrong, ever.
Dave Barris, right?
Yeah.
I have Barris and Kiltz 7 and 10, and Billy Hibbert and Michael Martell 8 and 9.
Yep, that's what I have too.
Good job out of you.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break the stream. I'm gonna go off air, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna set up the next stream for the matches that we're gonna have coming up. We'll probably be with you about 20-25 minutes with those matches, and we'll come back and we'll stream that.
Perfect.
And you'll be here for commentary, right?
Yeah, unless you can find somebody better.
Nope.
I mean, it can't be that hard to find somebody better.
You're the man. So thanks for
Yeah.
watching, everybody. We'll be back 15-20 minutes when they have all these numbers figured out. And if there's any changes to the number, I'll post on Facebook and Twitter. But right now, that's what we have. We have Bittenbender, Pate, Hess, Biondo, Axon, and then Kiltz, Dentlinger, Hibbard, Martell, Barris.
He actually had Kiltz and Detlinger flipped. I think he had Detlinger, unless he spoke wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Dentlinger was 151 and he bowled 202. So
okay.
Kiltz bowled 232, got to 155. So.
Yep. Okay. Perfect.
All right, we'll see you in a bit.